I wanted to share with you the fastest way to become a investor if you're a business owner. And I was talking to somebody at our office about this. We were talking about this, and they were like, "Hey, how do business owners? What's the fastest way as a business owner to become an investor in real estate?" The number one fastest way is to not actually go and get your own deals, no matter what you think. You can read all the books, you can do all that stuff, but the fastest way to become a real estate investor is to invest passively in a real estate deal. Now, the problem with that, most people are thinking, well, I'm just going to go get my own deal and I'm going to do this. But first, you have to kind of like do a self-assessment on yourself. Like, one, this is only for people who have a good business. Like, you have a good business or you have a good income. Maybe you're a doctor, maybe you have a practice, maybe you're a contractor, maybe you're a professional, a high-paid professional. We call them high revers or high revenue earners, whatever that is. But primarily, most people I talk to, they're entrepreneurs, man. They have a business. So if you have a good business making good money or high revenue, that's you. You don't need a second business. The fastest way to get into being a real estate investor is to take your money that you have sitting in a bank or a retirement account and invest it in a real estate deal, right? One, you have a good business already. You don't need a second business. Next, you don't have the time. It takes time. Like if you're going to be good at what you do and you're not going to lose money. That's the number one rule of investing. Don't lose money, right? To preserve capital. You don't have time to learn this business. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. You can't do it sitting on the couch. I know everyone says, "Yeah, you can just do this, man. You can look." It's not that way. This you can't do this. It's like learning to be a professional MMA fighter and never getting in the ring. It ain't gonna happen. All right, because I was a professional. I got the damage to prove it in one of my eyes. I didn't learn that from messing around. I got that from the ring. So, and the next piece is you don't need a second gig. You're too busy. You don't want to do all that stuff. That's why you're making good money in your business or in your job, right? Whatever you do for work. So, the thing about that is once you start investing your own money, this is something that very few people go over with people. If you take, like, let's say you invest in Bell Capital to deal with us, when we have a deal, you are a partner in the deal. You do own a piece of that property. You are an owner. So, all you people out there who feel like you need to own it, you do own it. You're a passive investor, you're a partner, you're an investor. But most people make more money as a passive investor than they do actually actively own the stuff because they forget how much time they're going to put into it. Let's say you own one or two properties. Man, you got to go there. You got to check on it. You got to take those phone calls from your tenants. You got to make sure things are done. If you lose a tenant, you got to oversee construction people and handymen and contractors going in and out, making sure it's getting ready and release it. Even if you have a management company on a small deal, one, they're taking 10% out of whatever they collect on that deal and anything else, and they're going to screen people and they're also charging you money. Like it's a lot of work, even on a small side. So, the fastest way for you to make this happen, if you have a good business and you're ready to do this, is to invest your money. You are a passive investor, you're an owner in that. And here's the things that you're going to have. This is some of the stuff I wanted to share with you. I was talking about this at my office. So look, when you're looking to do this, here's the things we do. So if we find the deal, we find the deal, we fund the deal, we already have the relationships with the brokers, and you got to have relationships with the debt people. You got to have a relationship with the management companies. This is a company, right? With the management companies, you got to talk to insurance companies because this right here is big. The insurance. If you haven't seen, and I'm gonna like, there's massive amounts of fires going on. That fires that just happened in LA burnt down all of the Pacific Palisades, all that other stuff, beachfront homes, great properties, burnt to a crisp. Now, and just recently there were storms in what, North Carolina, Florida, um, other fires in other places, it's freezing cold in Texas, places that stuff's never happened. This your relationship with just an insurance person alone. Like most people don't know this. When you look at a multifamily property, a big property, I'm talking about commercial real estate. The first thing you need, yes, you need financials. You need to have a relationship with a broker bringing you the deals and the debt. Typically, they have this. Primarily, you got to talk to an insurance person. You have to have a debt quote right away. This is going to be one of your big expenses outside of your taxes. So if you don't know this, if you're just like, I'm going to start doing real estate and you're running your business. Let's say you're making $2 to $10 million a year in your business, or 500,000 a year, or $1 million, whatever that is. And it's your employees, or you have no employees, whatever, but you're making good money. This is a whole separate thing. You don't have time to do this. You can't just randomly, I'm going to figure this out. Funding a deal, finding a deal, and you also got to do your due diligence. This is one of the number one things. Due diligence, what does that even mean? Before you even get the deal, you got to see the deal. You got to do financial due diligence. You got to run your numbers. You got to see the property itself. Later, when you get into writing an LOI, which is a letter of intent and or contract, you're going to be walking the units, or you're going to do like we do, and you're going to hire a company to go through every unit. You're going to have to do that. Leases, everything. Now, this is all work. So all these guys out there are like, yeah, I think I want to kind of start, this other thing and get into real estate investing and get into multifamily property. Dude, here's the deal. You need a lot happening here. This is a team sport. This isn't an individual sport. So if you have a good business, your best bet is to invest with somebody that does this full time like we do, right? We already have all this stuff happening. So the other piece, which is what I was talking about, too, was aside from just investing, knowing that you have a good business and not starting your second gig is when you invest, it's like, how do you make money, right? Let's say, like we said, you already have a good business. Say you're making $1 million to $10 million a year in your business. You want to park some money. Let's just say 300 grand. You're like, hey, Vic, I'm going to put 300 grand in the deal. How's that work? Our target always is 5%. If we can get 5% on our money, great. So don't need to be greedy, especially on the types of deals we're looking at. A location properties, institutional quality assets. My target's always like, can I get 5% on our money? Period. If we can do that, we're good. So that's what, 15 grand, 15,000. Boom. If we were to do that for 10 years, that's $150,000. That's 50% just in cash flow on our money. Right now, if you're thinking about 50, that's already done. We're doing nothing. It's 10 years. I get it. But you still got your other business. Everyone looks at this like, oh, well, 5%. You're not thinking. You have a good business making money every year. You're not running out of money. It's not going to be your last 300 grand. You're not going to do that. We're just talking about $300,000. Deals we look at, some of the deals that we look at, just the equity is 36 million, $40 million, $50 million on a deal. So if you don't have that amount of money, you're going to have to be an investor inside of the deal and take a piece of it, which is what I'm showing you. But let's say right now, you've already made 50% of your money back on a $300,000 investment, 10 years. While you're still running your business, while that business is still making money, there's only one investment. Now, during this time, anytime I hold a deal like that, my goal, every deal we look at is always like, can we increase the income of that property? Can we increase the rents? So let's just say we raise rents another 5% a year. Only 5 of the 10 years. So let's say we only do a 5 years of that. That's another, what is that? $75,000. Right? So over the 10 years, we raised it 75. So now we have, and this is also cash flow. So we increased the income of the property by 5%, only 5 years. We cut it back. So we didn't get it for the full 10, only 5. So now we made $75,000 plus the other 150,000. That's 225. 225. This is just in cash flow over time. While we sat, while we waited, while your other business is doing this thing off of just one investment. My target for you is to invest up to $1 million with us. My goal for every investor is to have $1 million invested with us in Bell Capital. But we're just going to say, hey, Vic, what if I threw down 300 grand in a deal? What does that look like? So you've already made $225,000 on your money, right? That's good, man. You ain't doing nothing that's passive. Maybe you're on a couple of phone calls with us and you're doing this once a month phone calls and we're just doing updates. Then later when I sell, my goal, 600 grand. So you got your 300 back. Didn't lose that because that's number one. Plus, I won't sell unless we're going to at least double our money. So that's 2x on that. So you got 225 plus 600. That's 825. You made 825,000. So your 300K turned into $825,000. That's a 275%. You made 275% on your money. Your business, now you still got your business, so you're still cranking out money over here. And then while that's happening, you're an investor in a deal, and this deal has your 300K is turned into $825,000. Or this is my goal for every deal. This is my goal for every deal. Again, these are targets, but my goal is I go back to the lender and I pull out your 300,000 as well as the rest of our money in this deal, and that's non-taxable. That's a non-taxable event because we did a refi. I gave you your money, but your initial investment back. Now it's an infinite return. It's an infinite return because it's non-taxable because we did a refi from the bank. It doesn't cost us anything to do that. And then I keep you in the deal and you go on making cash flow. And then we later turn around and do it all over again. Right? Like this is really the game. This is why I tell people, look, if you want to, the fastest way to become a real estate investor is to invest. Don't go try to start another business. If you go and you buy your own deal, that's another business. That's not you being an investor. You're a full-time person. You want to be passive in a real estate deal. So look, this works if you have a good business already, if you already having a bunch of income coming in and you don't want to go do this on your own, you don't have the time, you're too busy, you don't want a second gig. I get that. That's who typically the people that I talk to, I start talking cricket, right? Typically the people that I talk to, they're like that. They're entrepreneurs, they got a good business, they're professionals, and they're like, man, I want either they're already invested in syndications or deals, or they're new and they're like, I was thinking about doing my own deals, but why don't I just do it with you? Because the deals you look at, I can't get. They're way bigger than I was going to be able to try to get on my own. I don't have the relationships and I don't feel like doing all this and figuring this out, man. I don't. That's not my thing. I'm good at my business and you're good at yours, right? That's the difference. But that is the people that I'm looking for. So look, if you have a good business, you don't want to start a second one, you don't have the time, you don't want to learn all this, just invest with somebody else, man. It just makes more sense. Invest with somebody who eats, sleeps, and breathes this, right? Like my job, my goal, number one, my goal is to make money for me and my investors, period. Like that's the number one goal. It's the only thing I care about. So when I'm looking at any deal, I'm like, one, will we lose money? Will it cash flow? Can we take advantage of future appreciation in this deal? And can we get the tax benefits in this deal? Will we always make sure to be in a great situation based on the location and the quality of that asset? That's my job, right? Now, your job, be patient, wait, write a check, get on a few calls, ask questions, be patient, love us, right? Look out for us and keep making money on your side so you can continue to invest money with us because that's what my goal is. But if you're wondering, how do I go from being a business owner to becoming an investor in real estate? Number one rule, you got to invest your money. Number one, you got to trust the people you're investing with. You want to understand what you're doing. And you also want to be like, hey, man, I don't want the headaches. Now you can, but I can promise you, you'll be much, much happier. All my investors have been always be like, dude, we made more money working with you than we would have on our own. So I appreciate that. So look, like this video, comment on the video, share this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down. If you hated it, don't be a hater and a hider at the same time. I know you're not a hater though. Leave me a comment. Are you like that? I mean, do you have a business and you're like, dude, I want to get this done and I would rather be invest with somebody else that knows what they're doing? Or are you one of those guys who like, no, man, I want to own it all? Good, you can. There's nothing wrong with that. But I can promise you, any of these size deals, you'll never own them all. The bank is going to be a part owner and a partner, insurance companies part owner, the state, city, the federal taxes, all that stuff, they're a part owner. Your tenants also are an owner because they pay rent. That's how this works. It's never just you. You'll never own 100% of everything. So why not do it to where you're on the better side of the partnership, right? So you guys are partnering with somebody who's looking to build a big portfolio. That's the goal here with Bell Capital. So if you have questions, go to bell-capital.com. There's only two things you can do on my site. You can register there so you can get started and you can see the open fund that we have. Got to be accredited. The minimum is 100 grand. You got to have a good attitude. Got to love real estate. Or number two, you can book a call. You can schedule a call with us, a 5-minute call, and we'll get on and we'll answer your questions. If you have a personal situation and you have questions and you want those answered, we're here for you. Myself or somebody on my team will definitely take care of you. If, yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, leave it in the comments. On this scenario, where are you? Good business, don't have the time, don't want a second gig, and you're too busy to do this and you're interested in that. Or you're a person who actually loves to do it yourself and you're succeeding at this and you talk to people that are also like want to get involved in what you're doing, but they don't know where to start. And you've been trying to figure that out and this actually helped you. I would love to hear that, what you think about that. So looking forward to talking to you guys. Again, subscribe to the channel, share the video. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep making these. I'm here to help you. And anything I can do, let me know. Let's go. Boom. Are you an accredited investor with 300,000 or more liquid in the bank? I want you to come and partner with me. Look, if you love real estate, passive income, and positive cash flow, appreciation over long periods of time, and you're willing to be patient, come invest with me. Go to bell-capital.com. This is for accredited investors with 300,000 or more in the bank, ready to go. Come invest with me. Go to bell-capital.com.